It's time for our segment called Eye on Lifestyle. As the COVID-19 crisis continues, we're all figuring this out together. And this is a time that we've never experienced before. And with that comes a whole host of struggles and challenges, not just for businesses, but for individuals. Stress and anxiety is very real. But Nikki Karnowski of Metamorphosis Coaching, Consulting, and Training is joining me today with some tips on to help us learn some good self-care. Good morning, Nikki.
Good morning, Jenna. Thanks for having me here this morning. You know, stress and anxiety seems to be at an all-time high. Lots of reasons for that. These new normals, people are homeschooling their kids. There's uncertainty about jobs and money. And you know, when we can't change things, we can start to focus on what we can control. And that's having good self-care and taking care of ourselves during this time.
That is so important. So if somebody is feeling overwhelmed and kind of stressed out during this time, what are some things that can help?
Well, I think there's simple things, but things that are worth repeating. You know, really taking care of ourselves and our body, and that is, physically, mentally, emotionally, kind of keeping a check on how we're feeling. I like to think of that nourishing your body, or making good meals. You know, if the kids are home now, maybe making things together and looking for ways to be inspired to cook healthy. That's going to directly affect our moods and even our sense of well-being. So besides that, good sleep, and then taking time to get out each day and move. These things are not only good for our mental health, but it boosts our immunity too. So good all the way around.
Yeah, and I know it can be, a bit of a struggle to try and take that time for a walk and really clear out that time in your schedule, but I know it for sure helps. Even just taking my dog around the block sometimes feels good for me. So what are some other things that we can focus on for good self-care?
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, even just telling yourself I'm going to get out for 10 minutes, it can change your day in the perspective. But one of the things, if you're working from home and you're not one of the essential or frontline workers, keep in some kind of routine for yourself. That's going to help with good self-care. You know, you might be tempted to stay in your jammies, but it's really good to get up, get showered, get dressed, and get a routine for yourself. Set some priorities for the day. You might give yourself, here's the 3 things I want to get done today. And then I think people need to be gentle on themselves, knowing that those expectations maybe need to be lowered a little bit, and to not be so hard on ourselves.
Yeah, I think those are all really good tips. I've been noticing how necessary that is for myself too. Are there any final tips though that we can think about, Nikki?
I think a couple quick things. Make sure you don't isolate. You know, connect with others. Yes, we have to social distance, but you know what? We can pick up the phone. We can use Zoom. I think that's really important for a couple things. Humans need connection, so we need to be connecting. And also, if we're focusing on others, kind of reaching out to maybe the elderly in our neighborhood, or family and friends, we're kind of getting beyond ourselves. So it helps us to change the focus of our day. And then finally, I think focusing on gratitude. There's physiological benefits to that. And even in the midst of the storm, I think if people can find a few good things in their day to be grateful for, it really does help to change things.
Those are some really, really great tips. I know I'm going to be using them, especially during this time. Thank you so much for calling in today, Nikki.